Hello and welcome to Junk Journal Inspirations. My name is Emily. So in today's episode of my Junk Journaling from A to Z series, we're going to talk about ATCs. And if you're anything like me, when I started junk journaling and paper crafting and all of this, I had no idea what ATC meant. And, you know, of course, I looked it up and I looked it up a long time ago, and I've known what it was for a while, but I've never actually made any. So this is my first attempt at making them. But before we get into that, let me just explain a little bit about what they are. So ATC stands for Artist Trading Cards, and they are designed to be traded, just like the name says. So swapped, traded. There are Facebook groups and, other websites and places where you can sign up to be a part of the swapping and the trading. I myself am not necessarily interested in that part of it. I think they are also an adorable addition to junk journals. So that's why we're covering it in this series. So yeah, they're not, in their pure form, they are meant to be, traded. So you would make even maybe 10 of the exact same one and then trade them with 10 other people. And then you would get 10 different artists' cards in return. And the only rule in regards to ATCs is that they have to be 2.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. And there's a reason for that. Because they are trading cards, most people store them in the baseball card sleeves in a binder, or, what I think we would call a pocket letter kind of thing. And those sleeves are, made for the size of a baseball or sports trading card or Pokemon card or something like that. And the dimensions of those are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So that's the only rule. Other than that, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I did a little bit of research. I didn't, dive too deep because I did find everywhere was telling me that that was the only rule. So I didn't worry too much about, what they should look like or anything, because they're really, everybody does whatever they want. And they're sort of a personal reflection of your art and your style. So that's why there aren't any rules. All right, so that kind of out of the way, the description and what it means. They're not scary at all. I used to think that it was very intimidating. It was a little bit overwhelming to think about creating a kind of a miniature canvas and piece of art. But I tell you what, I've worked on these today and I've had so much fun. And it's a fun way to create a finished product or project very quickly. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time on them, but when you're done, you have, a complete piece of artwork. So I think they're a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing more of them. I'm glad that, this came up for the series. So these are some that I've made. Let me, we'll go back to this one. So I'll show you how, or kind of give you an overview of what I did in a second. But anyway, this has some stenciling and some French dictionary page on there. This is a reproduction, or not a reproduction. It's a gummed label sort of thing that my friend Susie at Paper Harbor Co. creates and sells. I will try to remember to link to her Etsy shop. She has so many different ones of these, and they're amazing. I've got some cheesecloth, a little butterfly that I got in Happy Mail, and then a Tracy Fox label here. And then this one is similar in that it's, sort of a naturey theme. I've got some sheet music and then another Tracy label. I think I cut that out of some Tim Holtz paper. This is another one of Susie's gorgeous gummed labels. This is a die cut that I had kind of just sitting on my desk from when I made a tag a couple weeks ago. That's another one of Susie's labels. And then I have a vintage stamp that I just stamped that. There's some vellum in the background here and a little piece of doily. And then this one has Tim Holtz collage paper on the back. Not this particular kind. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll link to all the products I used in the description box below. And if I ever forget anything that you're interested in, just leave me a comment. But again, I had another piece of that die cut. This was a butterfly from Happy Mail, a little cameo with some tulle behind it. And then this is amazing. I have two different colors. It is, it's teletype paper and it's punched and it's so cool. So I have it in pink and I have it in ivory and it's just so fun. But I liked the pink and black that this kind of turned into. And then I think this one's my favorite. And it's very simple, but I do think it's my favorite. I used crumpled up pink tissue paper for my base, layer in the background. And then I used a Tim Holtz stencil and some Victorian Velvet Distress ink for the polka dots. And then a sari silk bow. And I have to say, I have a hard time tying bows, but this one I'm just in love with. Every once in a while it works out, but I wish I could remember what I've done from time to time, because yeah, I do love that. And then there's just some little flat back embellishment, sort of pearl type things down here at the bottom. I think that one is my favorite. So I'm going to sit these out of the way and I'm going to show you what I did to start. And then we'll kind of finish one that I started earlier. So what I did, I have ivory cardstock that I had purchased to print on, but my LaserJet does not like this paper for some reason. Even though it's a LaserJet, the toner just comes right off of the paper. It's so weird. So it's perfect for base layers of things. So I cut a whole bunch of them to 2.5 by 3.5. You can use whatever you want as long as it meets those dimensions. I mean, you could use chipboard, you could use cereal boxes, packaging, anything. You just want it to have a little bit of heft to it so that it can hold up to whatever you put on it. And then also, if you're going to trade them, you want them to, hold up well for the recipient. So that's what I did. And then after I had them all cut, I did my base layers all at one time. So this one has the French dictionary page. This one has the antique sheet music. This one has the Tim Holtz collage paper, and then this one was the pink tissue paper. So I decided what I wanted to put down first. And so I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate, kind of what I did here a little bit, just to give you some inspiration. And, nothing, there are no rules. So just because I'm doing it this way doesn't mean that you have to. I'm just going to use glue stick to stick down some of this collage paper. And I'm gonna not even worry about, getting to the edges because I sewed around all of mine. So the easiest way to kind of do this is to just plop it down. So yeah, I'm not too worried about which part of the paper. Actually, that that was sort of a miracle. It lined up really well, actually. So I love that. And I didn't even try very hard. And then I'll just cut off enough so that I can cut around the edges here. Put this away. Oh, well, we'll get that later. All right, so then after I got this on here, just to make sure that it's good and stuck, I just trimmed around the edges. And then I took it to my sewing machine. I just did a whole bunch at one time, so I did all of them at once, did the backgrounds, and then and then went and sewed them all. I've got glue on my scissors, apparently. Need to clean those. So yeah, so then I would take this to, I'm not going to throw any of these away because these are great for collaging. Just set those aside. But yeah, I took this to my sewing machine and I just sewed around the edges. Some of them I did straight stitches. Well, actually the one I did, the one I'm going to show you is a straight stitch, but then the others I just did a zigzag. You can see on the back. So yeah, that's what I did next. And then the next step after that is I added either stenciling or texture paste, which is going to be the one I'm going to show you in a second. And then from there, I just kind of decorated them. So we'll set that aside and I'll show you this one. So I did the texture paste earlier so that it would have a chance to dry. And I'm not even sure because I used the transparent glossy. Like I can see it, but you might not be able to see it very well on the camera. So sorry about that. I probably should have used, the opaque, but I wanted the transparent look because I didn't want it to be, I didn't want it to take away too much from the background, which is another of the Tim Holtz collage paper. And then I did a straight stitch around the outside of this one. So I haven't done anything else to it yet, but what I thought I would do is I have this set of awesome stamps. I think you've seen me use them before. So I thought, we would just kind of finish this one off a little bit here. I definitely want to add some cheesecloth and this little butterfly somewhere down here because I like how it brings the yellow out in the collage paper. And I forgot to mention I did ink around all of them. This one I inked in tea dye distress ink. So anyway, I'm going to use my little stamps here and some Stays On ink in Timber Brown. I don't know, just to add something else here. And hopefully I get a good impression. These are old and sometimes, but that just adds to the character, so it's okay. So this is actually on an angle already, so I'm just gonna stamp it down up here in the corner. There we go. Very cool. And then I have the number 5 here. I don't know why, but number 5 is like, that's like my favorite number. I don't know if it's because of the way it looks or I don't really know why. But I'm just gonna put that up here at the top. Like that. And then I have the cent sign here. And I just thought maybe that would look nice. Oscar is barking his head off outside. All right, there we go. All right, so already it looks pretty cool, I think. And then, like I said, I want to add this cheesecloth and this little butterfly. I thought this is actually a flower that I used. The stencil was a flower that I texture pasted. Not that you can see it very well. I do apologize again for that. Didn't mean for that to happen, but sometimes you do want to try to keep your, because of the size constraint, if you are going to trade these or swap them, you do want to try and keep all of your decoration for the most part inside your 2.5 by 3.5 dimensions. Mine, I did the best I could, but honestly, like I said, I'm going to keep mine and either give them away or use them in journals because I think they would be gorgeous as tuck spots or little pockets, or if they're fairly flat like this one, it can be a journaling card. But by all means, if you're interested in trading them, go ahead and find, find a group that does that. It's apparently very popular, and I was contemplating, I'm not sure yet, I was contemplating maybe organizing a swap for them in my Facebook group. So if that's something you might be interested in, you can find the link to my Facebook group in the description box below. But yeah, that I'm gonna call it there, because I like the simplicity of it, but yet it has some dimension and some character. And then I'll do this one. I'll do something with this one later, because I really like how that collage paper went on there fairly straight and in a neat little pattern. All right, guys, I hope that was inspiring for you. Go make some ATCs. I'd love to see pictures. If you make any, you can post them in my Facebook group. Or if you don't want to join the Facebook group, or you're not on Facebook, you can always send me an email. My email address is always in the description box. I would just love to see what you come up with. And we'll see. I'll ponder on it a little bit, and maybe we'll do an ATC swap in the Facebook group. All right, there we go. So you can find links to the supplies I used in the description box. And oh, I did want to mention, if you had seen my video a little while back, I did start a membership kind of thing on my YouTube channel. The first live stream for exclusive and all access members is going to be on the 20th. And the first members only video tutorial will be this Saturday, the 13th. And that's also for exclusive and all access members. So you have time if you want to get in this month and be a part of those two things. And then everybody, all members, get early access to all of my videos that I upload. I try to upload them to the members 24 hours before. Sometimes it's a little longer than 24 hours, and sometimes because of technology, it ends up being a little less than 24 hours, but I do my best. And there's also other perks. So if you're interested in any of that, if you want to just check it out and see what the perks are, you can hit the join button, which is right next to my subscribe button, or there's a link in the description box that says join this channel for exclusive perks, and you can click there as well. All right, guys, I hope that this was fun for you, and I hope that it inspired you to make some ATCs. And I will talk to you soon. Take care, stay healthy, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.